Hi everybody, welcome back to Spinning with Spitfire. I'm on a brand new camera today. I'm very excited to bring that to you. Before we move to today's spinning, I wanted to share with you the final spin from Shirsty Cat Designs. The amazing Shirsty Cat Designs, the Merino Silk Roving, in the very descriptive color 95A, and the pinks and peaches. I wanted to share that with you. Came out really well, the 3-ply. There was a little bit left over after I 3-plied it. Usually when I do a plied yarn and I end up with some left over, what I'll end up doing is saving those singles and spinning a very fun, crazy yarn afterwards. But this one I decided to ply up and do a Navajo or chain plied yarn, and that one turned out just as nice as the fantastic, let me see if I can get it to focus, that's a little better, the fantastic true 3-ply that we spun together. Today we're going to do some more plying. We're going to do a 2-ply, and that 2-ply is going to be some of this Merino Tencel from the Fold in Marengo, Illinois. It was on sale, as you can see, a good deal. It's a Merino Tencel Superwash. I spun up a bit of it, had some spun up from a previous work where I used it for plying. It's not a very enjoyable spin. It is very slippery, so it's not a very enjoyable spin for me. I'm spinning that today with a bullseye bump. Let's block that because it's shining. From Ripple. The color is Ripple. It's from Loop Yarns, and they do both yarns and bats. Bats are kind of hard to find from her Etsy shop and her online shop, but she does have a club that she does as well. This particular bump had merino, bamboo, and some Tulsa silk in it, so it should look really nice with that Merino Tencel that was spun up previously. Today we are spinning on my Heavenly Handspun electric wheel. Recently received the new Whisper motor for this wheel. It is pretty nice setup. It's a different type of wheel as the other ones were, where the drive band goes around the bobbin rather than on the flyer, and the flyer has the brake belt on it, which is opposite for the Irish tension, the Scotch tension rather. This is Irish tension, Scotch tension on the shaft wheels that I have set up. The Whisper motor is very nice. On-off switch here, fast to slow with your dial, and then counterclockwise and clockwise and off. So I can turn it on and it does nothing if it's in the off position, and then if I turn it to the clockwise or counterclockwise, it'll turn into the plying direction. I think I'm going to move this to the floor and put it as a foot pedal, kind of like a sewing machine. The previous motors that they had was a sewing machine pedal, which was alright, but it was as loud as my old Singer sewing machine. It was very loud, and now that we have a baby, not much of a baby anymore at 3, sleeping, I don't want to be waking up the whole house to do spinning. So when they announced that they had this amazing new motor, I took up on that upgrade. previous motor, though, did have something get inside of it, and it was sparking, so I hadn't used it in years. It was just happenstance that I happened to be looking for a new motor at the time that they started selling the Whisper. Very good luck. So I'm spinning in an armchair today instead of my folding chair. Sitting at something a little bit lower. I do notice, though, that that green power light, it does cast green light onto my fiber as I'm spinning it, so I need to be a little bit cognizant of that. And the only bad thing about spinning in this wheel is that there is no woolly winder for it. Irish tension usually would prevent that. I don't think that they have any woolly winders for Irish tension wheels. So that means that I have to come over here and move my leader up from time to time. A little bit about the bullseye bump I spun. You're going to notice now that it's starting to slightly turn to purple. As I'm plying it with the grace or silver out of the black. Bullseye bumps are very well known for their radiance or color changing effects, and they're called the bullseye bump because they are wound into the roving is wound into a center pull ball. I'm not really sure how I feel about that prep. The fiber itself was pretty awesome, but coming out of the center pull ball, it adds some twist to your fiber already. So, depends on how you feel about that. Every now and then I would have to break the fiber, get some of that twist out, so that it wouldn't affect my drafting. You might hear a little bit of scuffing back there behind the camera. Uh-oh, one of my plies broke. My previously spun. Where's the end, bro? Where's the end? Really? Do you see it? There it is. Right. Put that in there. Ay. Yeah. Probably end up having to break that yarn when I come to it. Well, that wasn't good. Alright. I kind of ripped that ply apart a bit, didn't I? So, what we're gonna do is take the bobbin, thread everything. Oh, this section is not very well done. I have misplaced my so I'm using my shaft. Make sure that that's on properly. Alright. Since I am going to break this anyway, and I don't usually do this. Usually I haven't had my yarn completely break on me in a long time. But this, I know, is my own fault because I picked at that ply pretty well trying to find my uh-oh, I got it stuck. Trying to get it loose. I got it stuck. I got a paper cut today at work, so I need to be careful of how I'm plying today. I should move that later anyway. Yikes. That's got some serious rattle. I hope it's just because the bobbin is uneven. Oh my. Okay, let's adjust. Let's adjust. Okay. about like that. That should be better. There we go. No. I don't think it was rattling like that before. Something is definitely uneven. Oh, it's starting to even out, get some weight on that bobbin. Similar to the shacked bobbins, most bobbins may have some rattle in it as you fill it up. Really good. Let's see what's going on. This is kind of loosely packed. Let's see. Oh, who spun this? Okay, my ply broke again. Normally when I do this, I pull it apart and then let the two capture each other. So there's going to be a section here that's a little bit thicker than the other ones, but it won't matter. It won't matter in the long run. That's surprising because I thought that the ply that would be the most delicate is actually the bump, and that is actually proven to be rather sturdy. So you see that the way that I ply is very similar to the way I was plying the 3-ply, that I'm feeding them in together on the top with my draft hand, and on the back end, holding them apart and tensioned off of the bobbin. You can always tension it however you find most appropriate. Seriously. I wonder if I need to tighten the brake band, but I don't really want any more take up. So a little bit about the difference between Scotch and Irish tension. And things that I have noticed is that I am able to spin thinner yarns on the shaft because of the take-up that an Irish tension gives you. Is all on here. There's a natural take-up that comes from your wheel without any tension. On the flyer-driven wheels, the take-up is usually, it's usually negligible. But with a Irish tension, I found that the take-up is pretty intense. So by tightening up the brake band, you're actually adding an awful lot more take-up than you do when you tighten the drive band on the shaft. And what I've found is that the drive band on my, or the brake band on my sidekick is actually a little less sensitive than that on my flat iron. Not really sure if that has to do with wheel proportions haven't studied that in depth. Oh, see? I tightened the brake band and that rattle has gone away. The flyer was shaking in probably the bobbin was shaking the flyer, which is not well enough seated. Now that's much quieter. I have not used this wheel in a very long time before getting that new motor. Like I said, it was sparking. Probably some fuzz got into that motor because the motor was pretty well exposed, and something fuzzy must have gotten inside because it was sparking and smoking. Don't use your motors if it's sparking and smoking. So I hope your spinning's going well. And do share with me what you're doing in the comments below. And I hope you have a really good week. I hope to spin with you again soon. I apologize for the little break I took. This is the busy season for my office. So I apologize if it's going to be 2 weeks or so till I get back to you, but I will get back to you. If I'm too busy to record, I'm probably too busy to spin. So I will see you the next time. Bye, everybody.